Another week, another episode of my random thoughts. Last week we played a bit of Elden Ring co-op and Sniper Elite 5, also co-op. A very co-op themed week, it seems.
Okay, I
No.
got mine. Rip.
Elden Ring is it's a great game. A great, fantastic game. I could play this game for hours, just exploring all of the unknown locations, dungeons, and much more. Co-op in Elden Ring is super fun, exploring castles and dungeons with your buddy or buddies and clapping cheeks together against tough bosses. All of it is super fun. Seamless co-op, however, is a dream come true, but also a nightmare sometimes. Like, to a point where the Wanderer can't even interact with any sites of grace. Okay, I'm getting a little ahead of myself. Let's go back a bit. Elden Ring's co-op feature relies on similar mechanics to other Soulsborne type games, in which a player places a type of sign on the ground and a host player who's looking for players to join finds these signs and summon said player into their world. Similarly, you can do the same thing, but with a password so you only join your friend's world and vice versa. There are also invading mechanics that work in a similar manner, but I won't get into that for this video. So in terms of the co-op, there are many pros and cons the summoned and host player could do. For example, the summoned player keeps their runes when they die, but return to their own game. You can explore almost all of the map together, but cannot ride your mounts together. You can explore dungeons and castles together, but the summoned player cannot rest and touch sites of grace with the host. There are many more good and bads, but what if we didn't have so many co-op restrictions? Introducing Seamless Co-op. This is a mod in beta developed and worked on by Luke Yui. I hope I didn't butcher that. Like I said, this mod is currently in beta, so there will be some downsides and bugs, but I'll get into that later. Seamless Co-op allows Elden Ring players to play Elden Ring seamlessly, as if a full co-op experience. Kinda. Let me sum up how great this mod is. Honestly, this mod surprised me more than it should have. For a beta, I expected a lot less. First, no grace restrictions. Both players can touch and rest at sites of grace. Anything you can do in sites of grace, in like the main game, both players can do. In fact, only one player needs to touch grace for both players to rest. Even if one player is fighting a horde of enemies and the other player rests, the enemies respawn like normal. Kind of breaks the game, but I mean, it makes sense. Next, the Wanderer. I'll start calling player 2 the Wanderer. Doesn't return to their world when they die. They just respawn at the last site of grace they touched, which is very useful. However, Stakes of Marika, those statues that kind of work as checkpoints in this game, cannot be used during Seamless Co-op, which means the last site of grace that you rested will be where you respawn. This one isn't really a pro or con. In fact, I don't even know if this happens in regular co-op, but both players watch cutscenes at the same time. Lirewire and I tested this mod a few days ago beforehand, and we had our own characters appear during the cutscenes. However, when I streamed it last week, only Lirewire's character appeared during both of our cutscenes. So maybe it's because he activated the cutscene first, or maybe we're supposed to activate the cutscene at the same time, I don't know. But it's still pretty cool. Side note, I forgot to mention, not only can you rest at sites of grace, but you can also see and interact with Melina at the same time, if she's at that site of grace. So, I don't know, both the Wanderer and the host are holding her hand or something. It just looks funny. Okay, now the absolute best thing in my opinion, torrent for both players. Yes! The host and Wanderers can both ride their mount, torrent, and explore the map so much faster than walking on foot. But why travel on foot when you could just fast travel? That's right. You can fast travel using this mod and go anywhere. Kinda. Once again, players are still limited, but I'm assuming so it doesn't break the game. Both the host and wanderers must vote on which site of grace they want to fast travel to together. Not a bad thing, but better than literally touching grass constantly, I guess. Now, the bads. Well, I don't want to necessarily call it the bads, because the mod is still in beta, but definitely things to be aware of currently when trying this out. First, apparently interacting with the round table can sort of break the wanderer's ability to rest at sites of grace. So we've heard, because after we went to the round table, Lirewire was later unable to rest at newer sites of grace. We even had moments where even though Lirewire rested at the new site of grace, after he died, he still respawned at an older site instead, making dungeon crawling together a little more frustrating than usual. Here maybe, I don't know.
Because when I was running around the last time, I saw it pop up for a split.
And 2, it's just buggy in general. Sometimes you're running down enemies naturally. In other moments you see your buddy just sliding on the ground like a broken NPC. Or even riding an invisible mount, floating about all Harry Potter style. Or just floating in the air in general. Honestly, just so many interesting bugs to come across, that's for sure. Nothing that really ruins the experience, but things to be aware. Overall, if you look past a few of the weird wacky bugs, this is a really well made mod, and it definitely exceeded my expectations. I expected this mod to have a lot more bugs, and maybe work half of the time, but each time we tested it, it worked just as intended. It's all up to you. No. Unfortunate. If you're still tuning in and interested in hearing more of these random thoughts / impressions, why not hit that like button and subscribe for more content, or even follow me on Twitch and watch me play games poorly live right before your eyes.
Enemy hunting. Oh
That's me.
Scared me.
Oh, damn, that's nasty. That's nuts. Sniper Elite 5. Alright, disclaimer. I've never played the Sniper Elite games. I've only ever seen gameplay of, I think, 3, like 6 years ago, and the bullet time, slow motion aspect always intrigued me. And I'm going to be honest, I did not follow the story at all, other than it takes place during World War II. We play as an elite sniper named Carl Fairburn, go to France to defeat enemies. That's all I can recall. I am terribly sorry. I'm sure the plot is good, but I played it last week mainly because the co-op feature looked super interesting. So my buddy Waffle and I tried it out for a few hours, and here are my thoughts. We start off on a boat and head to land where we go through the tutorial, and many of the controls are fairly easy to remember. Your basic third-person movement and controls: crouch, prone, sprint, vault over things, etc. However, I think what makes things interesting is your heart rate at the bottom. It seems like the more movement and speed you do, the higher your heart rate gets. Obviously, but the higher it is, the less accurate your aiming will be. Which I think is a pretty neat feature, especially if you want pinpoint accurate shots, and oh boy, getting those juicy, gruesome sniper shots do be a spectacle. And I guess that's a good time to bring up sniping. It doesn't entirely feel like a one-to-one simulator. In fact, it feels like an arcadey sniping game, where you still put into account the distance between you and the enemy as well as bullet time, wind, etc. But the empty lung feature kinda makes this process flow very well, where you can shoot an enemy and go shoot the next enemy right after. Basically, when aiming down, you can press the space key to activate empty lung, which essentially makes Carl take a deep breath to concentrate, which makes a reticle show up near the player's crosshair that accounts for both bullet drop over long distances and wind direction affecting bullet trajectory, which makes things a lot simpler. And holy goddamn, when that slow motion effect kicks in, it looks so cool. The X-ray visual showing where the bullet penetrates is like straight out of a Mortal Kombat fatality. I love it. And this might be a personal preference, but I love how both players sees each other's bullet time cutscene thing. To be honest, it kinda jump scares us sometimes, like,
Oh my god! That's scary! I thought I got shot, but it was you!
and depending where your shot lands can determine how much XP you gain, or even stealth kills can too. And upon getting enough XP can gain you a new skill point, which you can add towards different perks, skills, abilities, etc. Also, aside from the sniper rifle you use, you can also equip 2 extra weapons. Each weapon has their own attachments you can lock and use. Not only can you carry like 2 extra weapons, but you can pick up enemy weapons too. I think what I like about this is you don't replace your weapon like how other games do it. You just kinda carry it around. It's not even a separate weapon slot. You carry it and that's about it. Once you swap to a different weapon, you drop it. It's nothing innovative, but I just thought it was neat because it kind of forces you not to carry that one super good gun all the time. I mean, nothing's stopping you from picking up the gun after every weapon swap. So after going through the tutorial and learning the basics, the game takes you to your first mission. And this is where the game really opens up. Like, alright, this game? I didn't expect this game to be so open. Like, it's not a super open world sandbox, but enough to make the maps feel pretty big. Well, the one mission we played at least. I guess I expected it to be very linear. Then again, I've never played the other games, so I'm not sure if a big map is the norm or not. And yeah, the rest of the stream is just Waffle and I exploring the map and completing various objectives. Honestly, the more I kept playing it and trying to play as sneaky beaky as possible just made me think, man, this makes me just want to play a new Splinter Cell game with co-op. Please, Ubisoft. I know it's not the same type of game, but working together to take down different enemies in different ways gave me that sneaky beaky Splinter Cell vibe. After completing various side objectives and the main objective, in both a sneaky beaky and guns blazing course of action, okay, let's be real, most of the time it was kinda guns blazing, but to our credit, we did try going sneaky beaky as often as we could. Then the game later asks us to exfiltrate to the exit and end the mission. Overall, a really fun game. Maybe this impression isn't doing it justice. Maybe it's because I'm sleepy while recording this, but it really is a fun game. Especially when playing with a buddy and going for wild sniper kills together. And I'll definitely stream more of this in the future when I get the time. So if you have Game Pass, or the money at least, Sniper Elite 5, def worth trying out. Oh shoot, oh god, oh god, oh god. I'm bleeding, I'm dead, I'm dying. Holy heck, are you still tuning in? Round of applause for taking your time to listen to all my nonsense, thoughts, hot takes, whatever. I'm still not sure if I should be doing one video with both games or separate videos for each games, so let me know your ideas. And if you want to see more random thoughts content, feel free to like this video and click that sub button. Or better yet, follow me on Twitch and laugh at me fail at video games. Until then, have a wonderful day and or night, and I'll see y'all next time.